My dear toddler, forestall for a second because what you're about to listen became never meant for everyone. It observed you for a purpose, and in case you go away too early, you may omit the one message that changes how you see everything. Do no longer bypass. Live until the cease, because something high quality is ready to unfold. There was a second no one anticipated. The room became calm, every communique regarded regular, until one voice broke the silence. Their brother seemed around, took a sluggish breath, and quietly stated, "You don't know the real them." In that instantaneous, every phrase disappeared. Nobody argued. No person laughed. Nobody even attempted to trade the problem. Silence stuffed the room because all of us realized there has been a fact that had remained hidden for far too long. What befell next became even more unexpected. However, before that reality might be revealed, you want to understand why the one's words carried a lot weight. From time to time the people standing closest to a person's coronary heart see the battles no person else notices. They witness the quiet sacrifices, the hidden kindness, the nights packed with questions, and the desires stored locked far away from the world. Whilst others judged the floor, they have got already visible the deeper tale. That is precisely why those words changed the whole thing. Their brother became now not speaking about appearances. He turned into speaking about the person at the back of the smile, the only almost nobody absolutely understood. Live with me because this tale is only starting, and each second from right here turns into more vital than the ultimate. There may be a cause you had been led to this message nowadays. Have you ever wondered what humans would say if they in the end located the reality approximately you? Could they nonetheless consider the memories they created in their very own minds, or could everything they knew disappear in an unmarried moment? That question became putting in the air as every eye grew to become toward the one who had spoken. No one interrupted. No one rushed to reply. It felt as even though time itself had paused, anticipating the subsequent sentence. If this message is already touching your coronary heart, write the Angel Wide Variety 111 inside the comments as a quiet reminder which you are selecting to stay present for what comes next. Preserve looking due to the fact the finest revelation has no longer arrived yet. The brother persisted with a calm voice that carried extra emotion than everybody predicted. You've got most effective visible the chapters they allowed you to look. You in no way witnessed the pages they concealed, so others ought to experience relaxed. You in no way saw how often they chose peace in place of proving themselves right. You in no way noticed how often they carried burdens that did now not belong to them. Over again, silence settled over all of us. Abruptly, antique assumptions no longer felt certain. Each reminiscence changed into being wondered. Every opinion regarded incomplete. What if the strongest man or woman in the room had usually been the quietest? What if the greatest act of courage had came about without applause? Do not skip now due to the fact something even bigger is ready to unfold. There are moments in existence while a single sentence modifications the entirety forever. This changed into one of these moments. Some humans began remembering conversations they had unnoticed. Others remembered acts of kindness they'd left out. Peace with the aid of peace, the image have become clearer. The individual they thought they understood had been defensive everybody else from concerns they by no means spoke about. In preference to soliciting for recognition, they selected patience. Rather than worrying interest, they chose quiet electricity. Rather than defending themselves whenever they had been misunderstood, they trusted that someday the truth would speak louder than any explanation. That day had finally arrived. And the one who opened the door to that truth changed into the ultimate individual all of us anticipated. Live until the stop due to the fact the most powerful a part of this story has now not been discovered but proper now, a person listening feels precisely like that hidden character. Perhaps you've got carried extra than all of us realizes. Maybe humans have fallacious your silence for weakness when it changed into clearly knowledge. Perhaps they never understood the reasons in the back of your pics. If that feels familiar, vicinity the angel range 777 in the feedback is a sign that you are nonetheless standing despite everything you've got faced. There is power in being visible, however there may be even more strength in continuing ahead before anybody notices. And this is where this adventure is main. The brother slowly regarded across the room over again and quietly introduced, "Someday, every hidden fact unearths its voice." The ecosystem changed again. Those phrases did now not create worry. They created knowledge. They reminded every person that the private memories are frequently invisible until the correct moment arrives. The people who had judged too quickly all at once became considerate. The folks who had doubted commenced asking one-of-a-kind questions. The room changed into not filled with assumptions. It turned into packed with mirrored image. But what occurred after those phrases left everybody completely speechless. This is the element you have not heard yet. Live with this message. Due to the fact the following bankruptcy reveals why the one's few quiet words carried a that means that no person ought to have imagined. Earlier than each person may want to wreck the silence, the brother quietly checked out every face in the room and said, "There may be one motive none of you without a doubt know them, because each time life tested them, they chose to defend everyone else instead of protective there."
Own image, the room became even quieter. No person predicted those words. Every reminiscence all at once felt incomplete. Every opinion started out to crumble. Do not bypass. Stay until the end. Something huge is watching for you. And what happened next completely modified the surroundings. One person subsequently whispered, "If it is real, then who are they in reality?" The brother smiled lightly and answered, "This is exactly the query you need to have asked from the start." In that second, everyone found out they were looking on the outdoor even as lacking the maximum essential component hidden underneath. If this message is reaching your coronary heart, write your angel variety in the comments before persevering with. Due to the fact what comes next may additionally stay with you for a very long time, the brother continued, "You handiest observed the days they stayed silent, however you never noticed what number of storms they survived earlier than speaking. You saw them stroll away. But you in no way requested what they were protecting by using leaving. You noticed their persistence. But you in no way understood how a good deal energy it took to stay type." Every sentence uncovered some other hidden layer. Faces that once seemed assured now showed marvel. Hearts that after believed they knew the whole thing realized they knew almost not anything. Don't skip now. Live until the give up. The biggest revelation has no longer arrived yet. Then something surprising happened. An antique circle of relatives' image changed into quietly positioned on the table. Everyone leaned closer. Before everything it seemed ordinary, however the brother pointed toward one forgotten second captured in the heritage appearance cautiously, he stated, at the same time as anyone else turned into celebrating. Watch who changed into making sure everyone round them was smiling first. The room regarded once more. This time they noticed something that they had omitted for years, the character. All of us misunderstood had quietly been lifting others without asking for popularity. It had constantly been there. They really in no way appeared closely sufficient. If you believe quiet kindness is one of the greatest strengths a person could have, write the angel number 444 in the comments and keep listening because something even more is coming. The brother took a sluggish breath earlier than talking again. The finest mistake humans make is believing that silence way not anything is happening. On occasion silence is wherein the most important battles are gained. Every now and then silence is where the most powerful promises are saved. Every so often silence is wherein future prepares its greatest marvel. Those phrases settled into every heart inside the room. Nobody wanted to break. No one desired to leave. Every person felt that something outstanding turned into approximately to be found out. Do not pass. Live till the cease. Something large is anticipating you. Then the brother shared one final memory no one else remembered. Years ago, he stated, they made a quiet selection that changed every route in this own family. However, they in no way instructed absolutely everyone due to the fact they never desired the credit score. The room froze once again. All and sundry searched their reminiscence, seeking to apprehend what he supposed. Questions crammed every thoughts. However, answers have been nevertheless hidden. That mystery have become not possible to disregard. If this story is making you watched in another way, take a 2D to share this message with someone who believes quiet people have no story, due to the fact they'll find out something they have never observed earlier than. The brother slowly stood, seemed closer to the door, and softly stated, "The truth has handy started revealing itself. What I tell you subsequent will provide an explanation for why the entirety you believed until today became most effective. The start." Those words left all of us
expecting the following sentence, due to the fact they knew the finest reality had nonetheless now not been spoken. No one anticipated what took place next. The brother slowly reached into his pocket, unfolded a small piece of paper that had actually been carried for a long term, and positioned it in the center of the desk without pronouncing the unmarried phrase. Every eye focused on it. No person moved. No person even reached for it. It was as though all and sundry already knew that anything changed into written there could trade the way they remembered every communique, every misunderstanding, and each silent second. Do not skip. Live till the end. Something large is expecting you. And this is simplest the start of the truth. After a long pause, the brother subsequently spoke. This isn't a mystery they desired to cover forever. That is a reality they by no means desired to use to make themselves look vital. The one's words echoed via the room. Someone cautiously opened the paper and started out analyzing. Instead of reward, in place of reputation, it contained a list of quiet promises. Guarantees to stay tight when misunderstood. Guarantees to stay patient when no one observed their efforts. Promises to celebrate different human beings as victories even when their personal dreams had to wait. The room became silent another time due to the fact absolutely everyone found out they have been standing beside exquisite man or woman without ever spotting it. If this message speaks to your heart, write your angel-wide variety inside the remarks and maintain listening. Due to the fact the following revelation is even extra unforgettable. One member of the family quietly whispered, "Why didn't they ever tell us any of this?" The brother replied with complete self-assurance, "Due to the fact actual electricity never rushes to introduce itself. It honestly keeps doing what is proper till the reality arrives on its personal. No person may want to respond." Those words reached deeper the all people predicted. Suddenly, humans remembered moments that they had left out, small acts of kindness, quiet encouragement, mild words spoken at exactly the proper time. What as soon as seemed ordinary now appeared high quality. Live until the end. Do not skip. Something massive is looking ahead to you due to the fact the most important piece of this story has no longer but been found out. Then the brother regarded closer to the window and smiled. There may be something else none of you realize. The room right away have become nonetheless again. There have been many possibilities to prove all and sundry wrong. He endured, however they selected peace instead of winning arguments. They chose forgiveness in preference to preserving score. They chose desire as opposed to becoming sour. Every sentence felt heavier than the last. Each face contemplated the equal question. How should someone carry so much without inquiring for reputation? The answer changed into less complicated than all people imagined. Some hearts are built to leave quiet footprints instead of loud headlines. And people footprints regularly alternate lives long before everyone notices them. If you agree with the strongest human beings are often the ones who communicate the least approximately themselves. Write the angel range 888 within the remarks earlier than continuing, because what comes subsequent will connect every part of this story. The brother slowly closed his eyes for a second and said, "There's one reminiscence I've by no means shared with absolutely everyone." Every heartbeat inside the room seemed to pause. "One night," he stated softly, "I requested them why they by no means defended themselves while humans misunderstood them. They smiled and said something I will in no way overlook. They said, 'If my heart stays real, time will subsequently introduce people to the actual me higher than my personal words ever may want to.'" No one anticipated that answer. It turned into easy, yet it carry a depth that changed each angle within the room. All of sudden, silence now not felt empty. It felt meaningful. It felt like the beginning of understanding. Don't skip. Stay until the give up. Something large is awaiting you due to the fact the very last reality at the back of those unforgettable words is closer than ever. The brother took one very last go searching the room and quietly added, "The purpose I said you do not know the actual them is because even these days, you have best observed half of their story. The other one half explains why each hard season became the muse for something greater than everybody may want to consider." The room remained completely still. No person desired to break. No one desired the moment to cease. Absolutely everyone knew the best revelation turned into still waiting just beyond the next sentence, simply while all and sundry believed they had subsequently uncovered the whole reality. The brother slowly shook his head and quietly said, "No, you continue to haven't seen the moment that explains the whole lot." The room right away fell silent again. Every face turned closer to him. Nobody checked the time. Nobody regarded away. It felt as although every heartbeat changed into waiting for the next sentence. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, due to the fact what you are approximately to listen is the one reminiscence that changed the whole lot for all time. The brother took a slow breath and persevered. There was one evening whilst no person was watching. There had been no cameras, no applause, no target market, and no praise. A person needed assist, and without thinking twice, they quietly stepped forward. They never mentioned it afterward. They never reminded anybody. They virtually walked away as if not anything had came about. The one's words settled deeply into each heart within the room. Suddenly, humans found out that the greatest things someone can do are regularly the matters nobody ever hears abo. If this message is talking to you, write your angel variety in the feedback before you continue, because the subsequent part may absolutely exchange the way you look at quiet humans for all time. One member of the family sooner or later whispered, "Why would a person conceal something so significant?" The brother smiled gently and answered, "Because they had been in no way chasing interest. They were building character while no person was searching." Yet again, silence stuffed the room. Every reminiscence commenced connecting like pieces of a puzzle. The moments that when appeared normal unexpectedly carried a totally unique meaning. Live till the end. Do not bypass. Something big is waiting for you because the most unforgettable revelation remains ahead. Then the brother cautiously opened an old pocket book that had been sitting untouched on a nearby shelf. Inner had been small handwritten mind gathered over many years. None of them complained. None of them requested for popularity. Every web page carried the equal quiet purpose: pick out kindness, choose patience, pick out wish. Even if no one is aware, the room ought to hardly consider what they have been seeing. It turned into not possible to disregard anymore the person they idea. They knew were living via concepts a ways deeper than every person imagined. Each web page found out some other purpose why the one's phrases, "you don't know the real them," carried so much fact. If you recognize someone whose quiet actions have modified lives more than loud phrases ever could, proportion this message with them after this video, due to the fact they deserve to be reminded that unseen goodness is never wasted. The brother slowly closed the pocketbook and appeared round one final time. "Now I understand something," he said softly. "The strongest human beings aren't constantly the loudest. The brightest hearts aren't continually the most seen. Every now and then the greatest tale is hidden inside the quietest character inside." The room, no one spoke. They virtually contemplated. Every assumption had disappeared. Every opinion had modified. Every heart had emerged as greater considerate than earlier than, "Don't pass. Live till the quit. Something large is watching for you," due to the fact there is still one very last truth that nobody in that room become organized to pay attention. The brother walked towards the door, paused for one final second, and quietly stated, "The next day, something will manifest in an effort to display why each silent preference they made became making ready them for a second no one believed changed into feasible." The one's phrases remained within the room long after he had finished speaking. Nobody moved. No person wanted the moment to stop. Anybody understood that the best bankruptcy of this story had now not happened, but, and whilst it finally arrived, nothing could ever appearance the same once more. The very next morning, something came about that nobody in that room may want to have predicted. The phone rang best once. However, before anyone spoke back the brother quietly smiled and said, "This is the instant I was talking about." All of us looked at him with confusion. How should he likely recognize what changed into approximately to appear? As the decision ended, each face inside the room changed. The news became easy, but unforgettable. A person some distance away had spoken approximately the equal character with the precise equal respect. The use of nearly the precise same words. They'd no connection to the family. They knew nothing approximately the communication from the night before, but they defined the identical quiet power, the equal kindness, and the same unwavering person. In that on the spot, anybody understood that the fact turned into in no way restrained to one room. It had been quietly following them anywhere. Don't bypass. Live till the give up. Something huge is expecting you due to the fact the greatest attention continues to be beforehand.